At his pretrial hearing, Bradley Manning revealed he first approached the Washington Post and then the New York Times to discuss leaking the classified files, but got no response. Now, in his column for the New York Times on Sunday, Bill Keller responded to Manning's claim, and he wrote, quote, "If Manning had connected with the Times, we would have found ourselves in a relationship with a nervous, troubled, angry young Army private who was offering not so much documentation of a particular government outrage as a chance to fish in a sea of secrets." And Keller goes on to reference you, Dan Ellsberg. He says, "We'd have made sure Manning knew up front that he was on his own, as we did with the last leaker of this magnitude, Daniel Ellsberg of the Pentagon Papers fame." Your response, Dan Ellsberg.
There's a combination there of candor and of self-revelation of the Times and of Bill Keller himself in that statement. Part of that is undoubtedly his true and his sincere best impression. It shows him as an arrogant, ignorant, condescending person, very smart person who manages to be stupid in certain ways, like virtually everyone. What we've heard are people like the New York Times who've consistently slandered him, such as in the false statement on Sunday that he was vague and couldn't think of specific instances that had led him to inform the American people or injustices. The American people can now, for the first time, hear Bradley, in his own words, emotionally and in the greatest specific detail, tell it was that he felt that needed revelation, in which the Times had not felt. So, in fact, the idea that he was just a boy who was indiscriminately dumping out everything he could, when in fact he personally had access to material higher than top secret, higher than Bill Keller has ever seen, in a war which Bill Keller has never served in, which can reveal to him that information, people should have that information. He chose not to put out the top secret or communications intelligence to which he clearly had access, as stated in his. He put on only material that he felt would be embarrassing, and which 3 years later we can say was only embarrassing, only important enough and newsworthy enough to topple two dictators in the Middle East, more effectively, I would say, than I managed to do. I helped topple one would-be dictator with minimal help from the New York Times, who covered my trial as, quote, a happening, rather than the legal issues which their reporter at the time never did grasp any more than Bill Keller did.